This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
As soon as that flare went down, I just started sending kisses up to the helicopter. I was just like, hell yeah, like, good work, boys.
Story of survival after a sailor was tossed into freezing waters. We hear from the man who lived to tell the tale. Also tonight.
Notice that we are down around 30 to 35%.
Hotel metrics, this is by far our record here.
A seismic shift this year for tourism in Greater Victoria. Record-breaking for some, a loss for others. We'll break it down. Plus, Adam finds out how a Langford man made a priceless gift to give to his mom for Christmas. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a story of survival at sea. An Esquimalt-based sailor was tossed into troubled, freezing waters after a freak wave hit his vessel. What came next was nothing short of a miraculous rescue and a story of resilience. Our Brendan Strain sat down with a Navy member today and shares his story.
I knew that I'd either get found or it wasn't my problem anymore.
That's sailor first class Matt Blades, the man who was at the center of an exhaustive search off the shores of southern Vancouver Island a little more than a week ago.
Basically, we were going out to conduct operations outside of Bentic Island to support an RQS-3 course.
Blades was at the helm of the rigid hull inflatable boat on its way back to base when a powerful storm began to pick up steam.
When I came up over one wave, just another wave hit me on the side that I wasn't really expecting, caused me to lose my balance and get thrown out of the boat.
Blades was attached to the boat's kill switch, taking it into the water with him. The other sailor on board couldn't get the boat restarted.
I was trying to swim towards the boat, but that boat just took off like a sail.
That's when the junior sailor who was still on board called for assistance, and a rescue mission was launched. Now alone, floating roughly 2 kilometers offshore in stormy seas, Blades had to focus on survival.
I was sitting there dressed in all black.
That's when ships began arriving.
I had about 16 boats go past me where I thought I could yell at them.
Although nobody could hear his cries for help. After more than 2.5 hours in the frigid, rough waters, Blades began to hear the sounds of air support that had joined the search.
You just start seeing the lights coming up in the sky.
He knew then that it was only a matter of time before he would be found.
And as they were creeping closer, I was like, oh, they're gonna find me soon.
He just waved his hand up. He's alive.
They didn't spot me with any of the instruments. It was actually the guy spotted me with his eyeball.
After 3 hours alone, wearing only a PFD and a dry suit, Blades was finally discovered.
As soon as that flare went down, I just started sending kisses up to the helicopter. I was just like, hell yeah, like, good work, boys.
Blades was pulled from the water by the crew of a pilot boat.
I'd say I was anywhere from mild to moderate hypothermia.
Then taken to hospital by a waiting ambulance, where he was checked over. After taking a week off work, the sailor is now back on the job, and couldn't be more grateful to those that were responsible for saving his life that stormy day off the shores of Albert Head.
Gratitude? Oh yeah, nothing more. Yeah, the wife, I know, she's especially thankful to everybody, right? There's been a couple tears. When she's been meeting up with some people, she's just so overjoyed that I'm back, and they put in all of their effort to find me.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Esquimalt.
New details tonight in the death of an Oak-based city worker who was killed on the job 2 years ago. 52-year-old Steve Seekins was killed instantly when an SUV veered off the road into Bowker Creek Park, striking him. Seekins and his colleagues were conducting sewer maintenance at the time. The investigation into the 2023 death found foam earplugs prevented Seekins from hearing the warnings from his colleagues. A WorkSafe report obtained by CTV News through a Freedom of Information request shows employees considered using headset radios that morning, but opted to wear earplugs instead and use hand signals while conducting sewer maintenance. The report found even if Seekins had been alerted in the moments leading up to the crash, it was likely already too late. Oak Bay police found the driver of the SUV suffered a medical incident while behind the wheel and was never charged. A Vancouver Island grocery chain has settled a class action lawsuit involving one of its former employees and an assistant manager. Red Barn Market has agreed to pay $750,000 in a case brought forward by 2 former female employees. The women were secretly filmed in the bathroom by former assistant manager Matthew Schwabe, who uploaded the images to a Russian porn site. Schwabe pleaded guilty to unlawfully observing and recording courting 8 young women and publishing the intimate images of 9 women, and was convicted on voyeurism charges in 2021. The plaintiffs are donating a portion of their settlements to a charity in recognition of other unidentified victims. Greater Victoria is coming off of one of the most successful tourism seasons it's ever seen due to cross-border tension. Canadians were furious about the 51st state rhetoric coming from U.S. President Donald Trump. CTV's Anna McMillan shows us that fury worked in our favor and could continue for years to come.
A lot of people in Canada are liking becoming our beautiful, cherished 51st state.
Those are the infamous words that ticked Canadians off and led to what's being called Victoria's best tourism season ever.
In terms of top-line revenue and hotel metrics, this is by far a record year.
Canadians spent their tourism dollars in their own country, skipping travel to the United States.
They're not letting up. American destinations are seeing sustained reductions of Canadians traveling southbound of 30 to 35%.
A win for island tourism operators and a loss for international ferry service.
After April, we noticed that we were down around 30 to 35% from Canadian originating travel, and that was the elbows up dilemma that we had to face.
Staff at the Clipper pivoted by focusing on sports tourism.
Let's go Blue Jays!
One such example, a special game day sailing when the Toronto Blue Jays played the Seattle Mariners in the American League Championship Series.
Sports brings people together, just as the Clippers brought people together for the last 40 years.
It's a strategy they're sticking with for the coming year. Across the border, there are plans to put on another welcome party like we saw last winter for people ferrying from Victoria to Port Angeles.
When all of the national level talk started back in January of 2025, we were really upset about that. Because the relationship between us and Victoria has never been a partisan thing.
That representative for downtown Port Angeles says in order to avoid a total collapse in tourism, the city shifted its advertising focus to domestic travelers.
Our tour operators were anticipating this was going to be an awful year.
But it wasn't. He says American tourists showed up and some local shops had their best years yet.
We're also sort of reading the tea leaves to decipher what it is that we did right, because we want to replicate it next year. But we miss our international tourists.
Travelers who may not be back to the States anytime soon. It's anticipated they'll be keeping it local, likely leading to another banner year for tourism on Vancouver Island in 2026. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
The city of Langford is looking to streamline the way it does garbage pickup in the community after growing concerns about overflowing garbage cans. Right now, Langford contracts out waste pickup. City staff have also noted residents are likely paying more on average for garbage collection or opting out of private services altogether. The municipality is also struggling with overflowing public cans, which it says is a result of population growth and density downtown, as well as misuse of bins for household waste. As part of its approach, the city will begin installing new garbage bins with recycling racks and wildlife-resistant design. The city will also explore the idea of a more centralized municipal curbside service. The province is allocating some much-needed funds towards the forestry industry on Vancouver Island. Nearly $8 million will go towards 2 wood manufacturers in an effort to speed up the production of value-added wood products. Island Timber Frame in Cumberland will get just over $300,000 to expand on its finishing products with new equipment. Meantime, Western Forest Products plant in Chemainus will get the bulk of the money to add to 2 continuous dry kilns to enhance their production.
Working very hard to maximize the species profile. Hemlock is a very difficult species, and we're maximizing the value. This kiln is going to ensure that more hemlock is being utilized here in British Columbia, throughout Canada, and around the world.
The province points to tariffs from the United States severely impacting the forestry sector and hopes this funding will help increase the stability of the sector. Still to come, preparing for holiday air travel.
Looking at probably upwards of 3,000 passengers a day and likely looking at 150,000 folks moving through the airport within the month.
What to expect if you're flying out this week during the airport's busiest time of the year. 9 degrees. Look at those lights on the boats in the harbor. Josh will be here with the full forecast after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises, customizing dream vacations with unbelievable value. Call or learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Well, Josh joins us now with a look at a windy forecast.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a stormy night across most of the island. This is a special weather statement in the gray zone. Wind gusts won't be quite wind warning criteria. Still going to be awfully windy through those areas. Around Victoria, though, we are under a wind warning. Gusts could be anywhere between 60 and 90 kilometers per hour late this evening, overnight tonight, and even early tomorrow morning. The wind will start to back off as the day goes on. But with 60 to 90 kilometer per hour gusts, I mean, you run the potential for, again, some power outages because the ground is so waterlogged and saturated with all the rain that we've had lately. That increases the risk for some trees to topple over. And of course, anytime you have those strong wind gusts, the potential is there for some property damage from flying debris. Here's the system in the front that's going to go through. So we will see some rain to go along with that gusty wind. And then for tomorrow, it's more like scattered showers. I think there are some higher elevations, though, over the course of the next couple of days that could actually see a little bit of snow. Most areas, though, around Victoria, it's pretty much all going to be rain here over the next few days. Nanaimo, maybe Sunday, Monday, you get a few wet flurries mixed in. 3 degrees in the north tomorrow with a few showers. 5 degrees and some showers possible on Saturday. It looks like Sunday is going to be the wetter of the 2 days this weekend. Be pretty hit and miss on Saturday. A little steadier for Sunday and Monday. Inland areas looking at a high of just 3 degrees tomorrow. That's pretty close to average. Cooler than the past few days, though. We'll stay stuck in that 3 or 4 range through the weekend and into early next week. Chance of showers for the next 2 days, and then some steadier rain Sunday, Monday, and the chance of some snow on Tuesday of next week. Windy on the west coast, gusts in the 50 to 60 kilometer per hour range, even through the afternoon hours. It'll be windy overnight tonight. The wind won't be as strong tomorrow, but still on the breezy side. 7 and 8 with some steadier rain for Saturday and Sunday, and then heavy rain potentially Monday of next week. In Comox, highs of 6 for the next 4 days. Mixed sun and cloud, chance of a scattered shower tomorrow, chance of evening showers on Saturday, and then off and on showers possible on Sunday. Late day showers in Nanaimo after some rain goes through overnight tonight and some gusty wind. 7 degrees for a daytime high. 6s through the weekend. A few scattered showers on Saturday and then some steadier rain on Sunday. In Victoria, temperatures tomorrow morning around 4 degrees. We'll get to around 7, which is pretty close to average, but out of double digits, which is we've had double-digit daytime highs for much of the last few days. There's your wind. Worst of this storm goes through this evening and overnight tonight, but even by tomorrow afternoon, you're still looking at gusts to around 50 kilometers per hour. Windy again on Saturday, some showers and a high of 8, and then hit and miss showers and 6 degrees in the forecast for Sunday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Thanks, Josh. Well, 'tis the season to travel. Airports across the country and here at home on Vancouver Island are nearing one of the busiest times of the year. CTV's Yvonne Raymond checks in on a few holiday tips.
Passengers flowing through Victoria International Airport skirt peak holiday travel for now.
That's why we're here now. Very relaxed, quite honestly.
Airport authority staff say the terminal will pick up December 20th through winter break, January 5th.
We're looking forward to welcoming all holiday travelers. Our busiest day likely December 21st, this Sunday, as folks get ready to travel out. We're looking at probably upwards of 3,000 passengers a day and likely looking at 150,000 folks moving through the airport within the month.
Time is the traveler's golden ticket.
Plan ahead and arrive early if they can, so at least 2 hours for domestic flights, 3 hours if they can for international. That way they can take care of parking, check-in, pre-board screening.
Security screening takes about 20 minutes on this day.
That can shift.
And as passengers attest, turbulence can come with the territory.
We had a rough day yesterday. Our flights got canceled to Calgary due to a snowstorm, and so we had to stay overnight, and now we're being rerouted through Seattle to Heathrow and then on to Zurich from there. So make the best of it. no big deal.
Plane's late, so we'll see what happens. Thank goodness we have a nice airport here.
If you're packing gifts, some sticky staples won't pass.
You wouldn't think, but things like peanut butter or honey or jams are things that can't be brought through carry-on unless they're under 100 mils and in that same bag as the rest of your items.
And resist the urge to wrap gifts now. Save the bow for landing. Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, North Saanich.
Trade was front and center today with the Prime Minister meeting with Canada's premiers. The goal, defending our country against President Trump's aggressive trade policies, cutting red tape, and provinces working together instead of against each other. CTV's Abigail Beeman shows us it comes as Canada-U.S. trade talks are still in limbo.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Ontario and the federal government signed an agreement to cut red tape for major projects, including the Ring of Fire.
Today's agreement is the last step in our plan to get shovels in the ground this June.
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
The two leaders, though, may still not be on the same page about the controversial Ronald Reagan ad that angered the U.S. president. Watch the Prime Minister's face closely and judge for yourself.
Well, number one, that was the best ad that's ever been run, 12.4 billion views. We wanted to bring it to the attention of the American people.
Mark Carney said Canada had been close to a deal on sectoral tariffs before the ad, and now?
My judgment is that that is now going to roll into the broader CUSMA negotiations. So we're unlikely, given the time horizons coming together, to have a sectoral agreement, although if the United States wants to come back on that in those areas, we're always ready there.
Meanwhile, the United States Trade Representative told lawmakers what his country wants to see resolved in order to extend CUSMA, up for review next year. Jamieson Greer released opening comments from a closed-door meeting targeting a list of things including Canada's Online Streaming Act and supply management policies that unfairly restrict market access for U.S. dairy products.
We continue to stand by that. We'll continue to protect supply management.
What was really interesting here is that the United States didn't appear to demand a wholesale renegotiation of supply management writ large or the removal of the system.
Trade experts say Greer's comments are positive for Canada in the sense that many American businesses and labor stakeholders are supportive of CUSMA and want to see it extended, even if they're also calling for changes. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, Merry Movie. Adam finds out why a Langford man added music to a movie to make a meaningful gift. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
A trusted voice focused on Vancouver Island first.
Good news for tourism.
Sharing stories.
We're here at Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a growing issue. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at CTV News Vancouver Island.ca.
The Tina Turner musical is coming to the Royal Theatre next month, and CTV wants to send you. Text Tina to 71010 with your name for your chance to win 4 box seats. For more info, visit ctvnewsvi.ca.
Finally, Adam finds out the story behind his son's priceless seasonal gift to his 90-year-old mom on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
As he looks back on his Christmas past, Sean Wilson will never forget being a boy in a blue bathrobe bouncing off the walls.
When you're kids, like, Christmas is the ultimate, moment in your life.
Because along with the gifts you unwrap enthusiastically,
there's the red bike.
And the others you open politely.
Underwear and socks.
There just might be that one present that makes your dreams come true.
It was a huge Christmas because I always wanted a guitar.
This first guitar that inspired Sean to grow up to be a professional musician, and decades later, on his latest guitar, write a seasonal song effortlessly.
It just showed up, yeah.
A musical gift.
I guess.
It unwrapped itself.
It kind of did.
We'll be cheering and ripping and laughing and grinning. I do believe this one's for you. It's Christmas Day.
A song with lyrics inspired by so many happy Christmas memories, thanks to so many loving family members, particularly his mom.
I love my mother dearly, and seeing her then when she was young, you know, it's kind of a bittersweet thing.
And because the now 90-year-old's memory is not what it was, Sean gifted her this song set to their old movies as a reminder of the great mom she's always been.
So she was pretty surprised. She loved it.
And when you see how you inspired smiles on the faces of people now grown and others now past, your eyes can't help but fill with gratitude.
It's hard to keep a dry eye reminiscing about family and, you know, those days gone by.
And after seeing how quickly the present becomes the past, his father and grandfather is committed to making his family's memories in the future equally meaningful.
But I think when you have moments where you can pull it all together and everybody's in the same room and having a good time, I think that's the best time of the year for anybody.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Langford.
A precious gift. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Today on CTV News, awash with water.
You're doing whatever it takes because you understand this is an annual event.
Flooding hits the Fraser Valley family attraction Castle Fun Park for a second time. The damage done and how the owners are trying to stop it from happening again. Also tonight, 'tis the season for guarding your gifts. We'll show you a crew of porch pirates caught on camera plundering packages in Burnaby. And
as soon as that flare went down, I just started sending kisses up to the helicopter. I was just like, hell yeah, like, good work, boys.
He just waved his hand up. He's alive.
Alive and sharing his story after spending more than 2 hours in the dark and chilly waters off Vancouver Island.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. After years of denials, on the day a convicted killer was being sentenced, he finally apologized to the family of Chelsea Gauthier. The young Abbotsford mom was stabbed to death, but Gary Loesch told court that what happened was an accident. At his sentencing hearing, the 70-year-old made a brief but tearful apology. He described Gauthier as a friend, saying, quote, "It was a horrible accident that happened, and I'm just very sorry, and I live with this every day." Gauthier was killed in 2017. Her partially clothed body was found in a remote forested area near Mission, where she had gone with Loesch to help tend to his marijuana grow ops. Loesch was earlier convicted of manslaughter. The judge sentenced him to 12 years in prison, though he will be given credit for the equivalent of about 3.5 years for time already served.
This is going to be a great Christmas knowing that he's not walking around. He can't hurt my kids. He can't hurt my family. And in knowing that, I can be a little bit more stress-free from at least him.
In sentencing, the judge said Loesch had lived a life of crime and had shown little inclination to rehabilitate himself. As Abbotsford continues to dry out from last week's major floods, the damage at one hard-hit business is becoming clear, and so is a significant cost of restoration. Castle Fun Park near Whatcom Road has welcomed generations of children over the decades. The amusement center was also hit hard by major flooding in 2021. At the peak of last week's flood, the facility was surrounded by water, which also seeped into the basement, and that's where it caused significant damage to the now aptly named underwater mini golf course. Restoration work is already underway, and staff hope to have some of the park operational for the week between Christmas and New Year's.
The mini golf will take a little bit longer to dry out, but as you might have seen down there, it's in a much better condition than the prior floods, where the water was sitting there at the ceiling height for a matter of weeks.
Even before the water began to rise, the owners were building a berm and making other flood mitigation improvements, but they weren't done in time. They hope the improvements will hold the water back in the event of any future flooding. Well, another round of stormy weather hit the south coast today with rain and wind, and that led to widespread cancellations for BC ferries. CTV's Dimitra Maragos is live at the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal. So, Dimitra, how are things looking there right now?
Yeah, Nafisa, the wind has really picked up in the last couple of hours. I've arrived here around 3 o'clock, and we can feel those gusts are definitely in full swing right now. I'm going to take a step off to the side. You can see the amount of people impacted by these cancellations. About 75 people were waiting for those double-decker buses. I just spoke to somebody saying they were waiting in Victoria for hours, ready to come here to Tsawwassen. But these cancellations were due to high winds in the Georgia Strait. Now, Environment Canada says these are a result of yet another frontal system coming through the region. Winds particularly strong throughout the Georgia Strait. However, they are expecting more rain and winds throughout Metro Vancouver as well. Now, we have already seen the aftermath of those winds, leaving some without power, downing trees in False Creek. Strong winds caused boats to wash ashore on Wednesday. Now, Environment Canada adds, while we are not out of the woods yet.
We could see some thunderstorms through the overnight hours as well, which would be a little bit of a disruption for people, but definitely a change from what we have been experiencing.
Now, thunderstorms are forecasted to come through Metro Vancouver around midnight tonight. We could see winds up to 40 to 60 kilometers an hour. Now, again, as of 3 o'clock, BC Ferries did say that their sailings would continue once again. However, they did just recently tell me that if these strong winds do pick up, there could be more cancellations ahead. So you're going to want to head to BC Ferries' website for all the latest updates. Nafisa?
Demetra, thank you. Well, it's been a slow start to the season for skiers and snowboarders, but the North Shore Mountains are finally getting some snow. This was the view up on Cypress and Grouse today. Snowpack levels remained below normal this year, with the heavy rainfall and above average temperatures delaying the start of the ski season. Well, Grouse has just announced they will open at noon tomorrow. Cypress will open Saturday. Still no word from Seymour. A BC Mountie convicted of discreditable conduct for making sexist comments in group chats has been ordered to resign or be fired. RCMP adjudicator Louise Morel has given Coquitlam Constable Ian Solvin 14 days to step down. Morel called Solvin's actions a, quote, fundamental breach of the public trust, saying allowing him to remain on the force would further damage the RCMP's reputation. She also said it defies comprehension that a police officer would think posting vulgar comments was acceptable. In November, Morel found Solvin and 2 other Mounties posted racist, sexist, and homophobic comments in a group chat and on police computer terminals. Decisions on the 2 other officers are expected in the new year. Police in Burnaby are asking the public to help identify 3 package thieves. The suspects pulled up to a home in South Burnaby in a dark SUV around noon December 1st. Video from the scene shows 2 women approach the front door and grab large packages from the porch. They put the boxes in the back of the SUV, which the 3rd male suspect has opened up. In a message to those suspects, Mountie said, a good way to get off Santa's naughty list would be turn yourselves in before our investigators catch up with you. Staff at the SPCA in Sechelt have their hands full after 32 cats were abandoned outside the animal center. The cats, ranging from 3 months to 5 years old, were found outside the center in taped-up plastic containers on December 5th. Sadly, the SPCA says 1 did not survive. Now, the unprecedented influx came as the center was already caring for 50 animals, forcing it to temporarily close. 15 of the cats have been transferred to the Surrey Center and will be up for adoption starting tomorrow. Still ahead, Christmas in Children's Hospital, how a local program is trying to make it easier for local families. Plus,
sadly, the recruitment is now falling to elementary schools, right?
gangs recruiting in elementary schools, a sad statistic, but one that a Surrey-based nonprofit is hoping to turn around. We'll show you how next. Welcome back. A Metro Vancouver charity that focuses on gang prevention has just received a federal funding boost, it says, will help keep kids away from a life of crime. The Yo Bro, Yo Girl Youth Initiative is getting $1.5 million to support up to 1,000 young people in Surrey over the next 5 years. The nonprofit provides programming, mentorship, and counseling to help prevent kids from joining gangs and keeping them on the right track. One of the charity's founders says gangs are recruiting earlier than ever.
Sadly, the recruitment is now falling to elementary schools, right? And all of us as adults have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Everything that we base our programs on are having those critical discussions with children, hearing their words.
The funds will go towards a new youth center in Surrey. Well, there are a lot of kids who won't be home for Christmas. Many of them will be spending the holidays at BC Children's Hospital. But thanks to an innovative program, these little patients can still have fun. CTV's St. Alexander explains.
First, we take this guy off.
Yep, good job.
The edgy.
The edgies.
When we first met Ashley Stacia and young Jasper, they were busy prepping a patient for some pretty important procedure.
Clean it.
Clean it, okay. Clean, clean, clean.
But they didn't seem to mind the company. Hi, Jasper.
Hi.
The 5-year-old knows all these treatments well because they're exactly what he's getting here at BC Children's Hospital.
More means better.
Yep, that's right.
When he came home from preschool one day, he wasn't doing well. Wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. So, of course, Mom and Dad took him to emergency.
So they did a blood test and leukemia shows up right away.
His parents now gutted, in disbelief, shocked by an illness they know so little about.
That was the biggest part, was trying to explain to a 4-year-old that his body is failing and we don't know why.
Well, that's where Ashley Stacia and the Child Life program comes in.
Of course, initially they're scared, they're nervous, they're encountering different people, you know, in gowns, masks, different equipment that they've never experienced before.
There would be needles, surgeries, checkups in the middle of the night, and lots of pills. So staff sweeten the deal.
We bring in candy like Skittles and M&Ms and little sprinkles, and we practice pill taking with them and pill swallowing using those things.
And he lit up. He was like, wow, this is exciting.
Jasper also needs to wear what's known as a port on his body. Now, he's not really a fan, and it gets changed every week. So this play takes away the fear.
Shake, 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 shake.
And he got to do with a real needle, try it on a doll, and he felt, I don't know, a sense of control, I guess.
And since it's Christmas time, there are other perks too, like visits from Marvin, who's almost as popular as Santa. A smile on the face of a child is a huge benefit to Mom and Dad, who are grateful they're not doing it alone.
Oh my goodness, it's hard to imagine. I just picture a dark room with a kid sitting and a parent stressed out, or a hard moment where they're being forced to do something medically that they really don't want to do, and the parents are just floundering emotionally.
Jasper will be here for some time. He can't go back to Salt Spring yet, but the Child Life program aims to make this feel a little bit like home. St. Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
The oldest school in Vancouver is set to close permanently. The Vancouver School Board has voted to close Sir Guy Carleton Elementary, a decision close to a decade in the making. The vote was 6-3. The school has been closed since a fire in 2016, and VSB staff noted around $650,000 has been spent to maintain the vacant buildings. They say major capital funding would be needed from the provincial government for the school to be safe and usable. The VSB adds they were denied multiple funding requests to seismically upgrade and repair the buildings.
I will be voting in favor of closing because I put more value on students in schools than empty buildings.
This decision coming after much community pushback. The VSB will now address other uses for the property. Well, the weather outside is frightful, but not to worry. The delightful Ann Lou will be here with the forecast. Plus, we've got an incredible rescue.
It is an emotional event. We know that one of our sailors is missing at sea.
He just waved his hand up. He is alive.
He spent 2 hours in freezing water as night fell. We'll hear the story of survival from the Canadian Navy sailor who was rescued from BC waters. A soggy look up Robson Street. Maybe some people are doing some last-minute shopping, but I know Ann Lou has done all of hers.
Oh, yes. I was done at the end of November. Then I don't have to do that. All right. Yeah. Stormy out there once again today. We do have warnings to tell you about. In green, we do have a yellow rainfall warning, and that's for Metro Vancouver North and Northwest and Northeast up to Howe Sound. 50 to 70 millimeters through tonight. That is the accumulation. A snowfall warning from Bridal Falls to Whistler. 15 centimeters centimeters of snow through this evening. Wind warnings for Fraser Valley East, winds gusting to 90 kilometers an hour through this evening, and snowfall warnings in effect for Coquihalla Highway as well as the Hope Princeton. You'll see at 20 to 25 centimeters today, an additional 15 to 25 centimeters of snow tomorrow with strong winds. A special weather statement in place for inland sections of Vancouver Island, West Vancouver Island, as well as Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley through this evening. Winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour. So we are seeing a few scattered showers right now through the overnight. It will dry up and clear up for tomorrow morning. For your early morning commute, a few breaks here and there with scattered showers throughout the day and a few breaks with another wave of wet weather moving its way in as we head through tomorrow night. Beautiful day in store for the southern interior tomorrow. A mix of sun and cloud for Vernon, Kelowna. Mostly sunny skies for Kamloops and Osoyoos. Early morning flurries clearing out of the way for Cranbrook with a high of -1. You'll see flurries to start off the day as well for Quesnel and Williams Lake. A mix of sun and cloud through the afternoon. 5 centimeters of snow expected along the coast for Bella Coola with a high of -1. Some mixing for Prince Rupert tomorrow. Sunny skies and -26 for Dees Lake. Smithers, you'll see -10 degrees under partly cloudy skies for the North Island. Unsettled for Port Hardy with 3 degrees. 6s with showers for Campbell River and Comox. That's what you can expect for the South Island. A chance of acting thunder showers for Tofino. Light rain for the Southern Gulf Islands and Victoria for the Sunshine Coast. Cloudy with showers. Same story up the Sea to Sky Highway for Whistler and Squamish. And for us across the Lower Mainland, a few breaks, a few showers. Temperatures between 6 and 8 degrees. Heading into Saturday, we will see some light rain. We say hello to winter on Sunday at 7:03 in the morning. And then on Monday, back to periods of rain, 7 degrees. And then on Tuesday, we will see periods of rain with the overnight low dropping down to about 2 degrees. We will get that rain-snow mix and possibly seeing some chunky rain tomorrow morning as well.
Chunky rain?
Chunky rain.
Don't,
you know what it is.
Don't fat shame the raindrops, and that's not nice.
Hey, we love chunky rain, especially at higher elevations, right?
We do. Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome.
Well, a Navy sailor is now back at work after falling overboard during a storm off southern Vancouver Island last week.
I knew that I would either get found or it wasn't my problem anymore.
Sailor First Class Matt Blades was at the center of an exhaustive search after a freak wave hit his vessel, tossing him into the stormy seas. He says more than a dozen boats passed him, but nobody could hear his cries for help. After more than 2.5 hours in the frigid water, Blades began to hear the sounds of a helicopter that had joined the search, and it wasn't long before he was spotted.
As soon as that flare went down, I just started sending kisses up to the helicopter. I was just like, hell yeah, like, good work, boys.
He was taken to hospital by a waiting ambulance where he was checked over and now says he couldn't be more grateful to all of those that helped save his life. Well, coming up, we've got the perfect accompaniment to that dreary forecast. The concert countdown is next. And later, football floof.
It was like, what the hell is the cat doing in the locker room?
Why this cat has taken a college campus by storm, culminating in a graduation ceremony. We'll introduce you to Pudge as CTV News at 5 continues. For Concert Countdown, our weekly guide to live music in Vancouver. Here's what's on tap on our city stages for the days ahead.
Say I just might show you what my hit like.
The Funk Hunters are bringing the party home. The Vancouver DJ duo will play the Commodore Ballroom this Friday and Saturday for the 10th annual Funk the Halls tour. Expect 2 nights of big holiday vibes, special guest DJs, dancers, and their signature funk meets electronic sounds.
Left my baby on a flat front step, left her reeling and rocking, cause we ain't dead yet.
Petunia and the Vipers, Vancouver's own Roots meets Jazz Band, are playing the Rio Theatre on Saturday, December 27th. But as the venue might suggest, it won't just be a concert. Fans will also get to see a screening of The Musicianer, a pilot featuring the band, followed by a Q&A.
You don't have to be around.
From the classics to mashups, Vancouver's Queer as Funk is gearing up to ring in the new year in style on the 31st. The 9-piece funk and soul band will play Wise Hall for what is expected to be a sold-out crowd, with DJ Slade spinning between sets. Now with a preview of CTV News at 6, Mi-Jung Lee.
Nafisa, high winds force the cancellation of numerous ferry sailings. Today we'll go live to the Tawasin Ferry Terminal where winds are picking up again. And after years of denials, convicted killer Gary Loesch finally admitted to his crime, apologizing to the family of Chelsea Gauthier. He said it was an accident. How her family is responding. And it's the end of an era for an historic Vancouver school. Despite pushback from the community, the Vancouver School Board has voted to close Guy Carleton. That's reaction coming up. And as flu season ramps up, a dramatic rise in children getting sick and needing to go to the hospital. I'll be back at 6. Nafisa?
Thanks, Mi-Jung. What started off as a pick-me-up between college football friends earned a Midwestern cat viral celebrity status. Plus, a shop offers undelivered mystery parcels for sale. CNN's Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A recent fall commencement ceremony in Ohio was headlined with a dose of snuggly star power.
Bowling Green has turned out to be a cat place, okay?
Yep, the ceremony's guest of honor was a cat, but not just any cat, Pudge, Bowling Green State University's beloved football mascot turned viral star. After the team's long snapper, George Carlson, brought Pudge to the locker room to cheer up an injured teammate, the interwebs did what they do, catapulting this fine feline into the organization's most well-known figure. And that's saying something, considering the team's coach is former All-Pro NFL running back Eddie George, for crying out loud.
I was like, what the hell's a cat doing in the locker room?
Well, before you knew it, Pudge's precious paunchy puss was everywhere, from national news media to silly swaggy merch. You gotta be kidding me. But all good things must come to an end, and along with his graduating owner, Pudge is now moving on. So university officials gave him a teeny tiny cap and gown and a bittersweet goodbye.
You will always have a home here at Bowling Green. Now, don't tell my dog I said that.
Speaking of unexpected surprises, that's what shoppers in Pennsylvania are jockeying for at a holiday market booth gone viral for offering unclaimed mystery packages for sale. According to WPVI, organizers buy up the undelivered items from retailers, so instead of going into a landfill, for between $10 and $40, these still wrapped mystery parcels can find a new owner. But here's the catch. You don't know what's in the package until it's bought. And customers say the not knowing is half the fun.
It's actually thrilling.
It's a lot of fun.
But I love it. I don't have a baby and I love it.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That does sound fun.
What if you got an iPhone or something?
Ooh, that'd be amazing.
Well, it may be raining here on the South Coast, but in other parts of the country, people are making the most of the freezing conditions. You can see in this video taken by a CTV News viewer, a man in a hockey jersey is skating down a highway in southern Manitoba.
Whoa.
The most Canadian video ever. And that is possible thanks to freezing rain turning that highway into a skating rink. All we need is a moose and a Mountie and a Tim Hortons coffee, and
it's very Canadian.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. A serene sunset in Steveston. Thanks, Carly, for sending this beautiful photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Mi-Jung Lee will be back for CTV News at 6. Right now, here is CTV National News. Have a great evening.